Hey everybody. Woo! We'll give people a second to jump on. It is Friday. Woo! Oh my my shirt is unbuttoned. It's Friday. Yay for Friday. Hey Chastity, how are you? I have a frog in my throat. I just did I'm doing a radio segment now on the Al Rucker show. And I had on, this is like way off topic, but I had on an OBGYN named Dr. Dre, who is phenomenal. He's like such a great interview. And he was talking about when when experimenting in the bedroom goes too far. And it was hilarious. And I am still recovering. I'm good, Mubarshar. How are you? So hey to everybody, if you guys could take a minute to share the video, that would be great. I live in Dallas, but that's not where I'm from. I'm from St. Louis, Missouri, but I live in Dallas. Hey Herbert, how are you? Happy Friday. I am awesome today. I am so glad it's Friday, and I'm not even sure why. Hey Chastity, because I got to work tomorrow too. I have like an all-day strategy planning session with like a client, so... it's not even like it's really a Friday for me, but we'll take it. So today I want to talk about 4 different PR or media strategies that you should be using right now in your business. So for anybody that has a book, a brand, you know, you have a business, this is really great stuff that I'm about to share. So it's going to be, I think, for some already doing it, for some not so much, but some little tweaks that you can be doing, especially with how you share content that are going to be, you know, it's going to be important. So if you all shared the video, can you just type me in the comment box so I can give you some love, because I appreciate all the shares. I also appreciate all the hearts and the thumbs up, so thank you for that. And so let's get started. Okay, don't give out your WhatsApp number on Facebook, please. Thank you. You don't know who might call you. Thank you, Chastity, for inviting followers. I appreciate it. Hey, Sam, thanks for joining. Good to see you. So we're talking about different things that you can do to spread the word about your business, some media strategies that will help you do more. So the first one is, and a lot of us are doing it, and I think you can see, you know, collaborations happening even with me and other people in your circle, but you really want to start collaborating with influencers. And I talk about this a lot. I mean, collaborating with, you know, on anything is always phenomenal. One, because you're not doing it by yourself. But when you talk about media, especially with social media being so huge, when you collaborate with an influencer, you're also exposing yourself to their audience. So not only are you getting in front of your audience, I don't know what you mean, what happened to Dr. Dre? Oh no, I was doing an interview with Dr. Dre, but not that Dr. Dre. This Dr. Dre, he's a doctor. He's not the rapper. Hey Gail, how are you? Sorry. Hey Derek. I don't want you to think that Beats by Dre is now an OBGYN. Now, I was interviewing another Dr. Dre. Anyway. So we're talking about media. So, and that's one way that you can collaborate. Like I collaborated with Dr. Dre, who is an influencer, to do this interview, but you can also team up with other people that are influencers in your expertise to get the word out faster. And a lot of times when you have big names on a project, that also helps you get more media, which is why a lot of foundations and nonprofits bring on celebrity clients or celebrity names so that, you can, get more media, because celebrity names always draw. So even if it's your event, but you've collaborated with a spokesperson, a celebrity spokesperson, we may book the interview because we want to have that celebrity on. So that's always a good way to get more media, is just to have like a celebrity name attached to the project. It's always smart. And it's beneficial not only just for your organization, but it's also beneficial for a lot of celebrities, because then they get press and they look really great if they're collaborating on a project that is positive. Hey, Axel 100, how are you? Good to see you. The other thing is that you want to communicate your why. So a lot of us are doing things and we just have a passion for what we're doing, but we never really effectively communicate our why. My voice still sounds the same. Denise, what do you mean, honey? What do you mean? So you want to effectively communicate your why. So if you have started a foundation, or if you in your business have, there's some passion behind what you do, which there generally is, we're so focused on talking about like products and services that we never really effectively communicate our why. So like for me, one of the reasons that I'm so focused on talking about media and doing media coaching and doing media training is because I know what media can do for a book, a brand, or a business. And I also know that so many of us have heartfelt messages that the world needs to have. And if you have no visibility, then a lot of people miss out. Oh, you remember when I was on with Nikki? Oh, hey, Daniel. Yeah, so you got to put yourself out there, like Herbert just said. You really have to start talking about it, but don't focus as much on the product and the service. Start to communicate your why. Start telling your story. Hey, Rosemary, how are you? Start talking about your passion and why it is that you're doing what you do, because then you really can start to connect with the person and not just the client. There's a difference. When you have like a human-to-human contact, it's different as opposed to just a customer buying your product. Then the person really gets to know who you are, and you're no longer just a business. There's that human-to-human element. So you really want to be very careful about making sure that you communicate your why. And I took a really great course about how to really build your message, because your story, no matter what it is, whatever makes you tick, whatever, causes you to do what you do, is really a big part of how you show up in the world. And so and lots of us have more than one story, but for me, just as an example, one of my stories is that I'm a daddy's girl. Like, I'm a huge daddy's girl. And there was a point where it became too much, so like when I was about 16, it really started to cause some issue. And no, I don't think that was me, Willie. It really started becoming an issue with my mother and I, not on her part, but on my part. So don't go tell my mama I said there were issues. But, I started to resent my mother. And my dad told me very clearly one day that at the end of the day, if I force him to make a choice, that he is going to choose my mother, because at one point I'm going to end up leaving the house. I'm going to have a family of my own, and he's going to be still at home with her. And now as a grown-up, I understand that. As a mother, and former wife, I get it. But back then, as a 16-year-old girl, it broke my heart. And so for me, I felt invisible. I felt unheard. And what does a girl who doesn't feel heard do? She goes and gets a job where she gets to talk to 8 million people a day. So that is why I'm so focused on visibility. And it starts a long time ago, from when my daddy unintentionally, he didn't mean it, but unintentionally broke my heart. And so it's really important that you understand what your story is and why it, and how it has forced you to show up in the world. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a negative story. It could be a good story, but it is who you are. And so it's important to know your story and then also share your story, so that people can connect to that part of you. So you have to communicate that clearly in everything that you do. The third thing to do, we're talking about 4 media strategies that everybody, I think, should be using, especially if you want visibility. And who doesn't want more visibility, whether it's on social media or in traditional media? We have all these products and services, but it doesn't really matter if we can't get people's eyes on them. So we're always talking about visibility. So the third thing is to create content and not post ads. So I think that we're really good on social media about posting ads, when what we really want to do is create content. So you kind of have to adjust your way of thinking. People will buy your product or service, but they don't always necessarily want to be told, buy my product or service. They want to know how that product or service is going to change their life. So you want to create content around that, because people really don't buy the product or service per se. What they buy is the transformation that the product or service provides. So how is their life going to be changed by the product or service? So let's take the Snuggie, for instance. So the Snuggie, like, is this mass sensation. It's like just really simple. I mean, it's a blanket that, you know, has arms. But how did it transform people's lives? It made it possible for you to be wrapped up and warm and still be able to sit on the couch and eat popcorn. That's the transformation. You're now free to do things that you want to do, and not necessarily have to keep taking the blanket off. We know how irritating that can be. So people bought into how it could better their life and not necessarily the actual product or the service. So you have to really start creating content and not just ads. And I think a lot of us are getting good at it, but we still have a long way to go. And the last thing, and this really has to do with traditional press. So there's so much content that's going around, and there's so much, you know, competition for audience, even between traditional media and social media, that my suggestion is that at times you give the traditional press exclusivity. So say you're having an event coming up, and yeah, you're blasting it in the media, you're blasting it on social media. Sometimes, because we are, you know, there is such a competition for audience, I would suggest that you offer the traditional media an exclusive angle. So I'm not saying don't publish or publicize your event on social media, and don't do some of the other things that you need to properly market your event. But just realize that the press likes exclusivity. Traditional press, especially the big, the CNNs, the MSNBCs, the really big networks and bigger shows, they like exclusivity. And so it's really just boils down to an ego thing. But so offer them an exclusive angle. Come up with something special. Maybe save your celebrity spokesperson just for that interview. But find some way to make it special for them. If you send them a cookie cutter press release that they may look, you know, Google and see on all these other sites, they may say no, because there's nothing special that you're offering them. So you want to make sure that you're offering them something special. So those are just 4 strategies that I think, and they're fairly easy to incorporate in what you're already doing, but they really will make you stand out and really will make a difference in you getting the visibility. So 1 is to collaborate with influencers. 2 is to communicate your why. 3 is to create content and not just post ads. And then the 4th one is to give the traditional media some kind of exclusive angle so that they feel set apart from all of the other marketing that you guys are doing out there about your business or your brand or your book or your event, whatever it may be. So I hope those are helpful. I'm so glad to have been able to come on and share that with you, and I thank you for hanging out with me. You can still share this broadcast. I would appreciate it. I think it's great information, if I do say so myself. But I would appreciate the share, and I always appreciate the love. So thank you for all the likes and the hearts and the smiley faces. They all really make my day. So I will see you guys later. Have a good one. Thanks, Derek. I appreciate you.